Hardy Construction.
What's up, everybody? It's Hardy Construction. You can find us at hardyconstruction.tumblr.com, youtube.com/hardyconstruction, as well as facebook.com/the Hardy Construction with your host, Alex, and
BC!
And today's films are
The Thing and The Thing.
one from 2011 and the other from 1982.
The year I was born.
So,
oh God, it's about me. It's about
you're
my
an
childhood.
old fuck. So, The Thing from 1982. Let's, in a nutshell, let's get rid of that. What did you think about this film with John Carpenter directing, written by Bill Lancaster and John Dub Campbell Jr., who originally wrote the story? Who goes there? Stars Kurt Russell, Wilford Brimley from Diabetes, Beatus, Keith David, and a couple of other assholes. It's what was it about? Scientists
I
in
didn't
the
realize that was Wilford Brimley, actually.
yeah, he was young looking. Scientists in the Antarctic. Actually, he's one of those old guys that look old forever. Scientists in the Antarctic are confronted by a shape-shifting alien that assumes the appearance of the people that it kills. So, nutshell, what do you think of the movie?
It's fucking perfect. It really is like a perfect movie. I love everything about it.
It's really hard to review a John Carpenter film because when he knows what he's doing, like, what the fuck can you say about it?
Yeah, there's nothing to say bad. Like, really.
The shitty thing is John Carpenter movies are from the 80s are really, really good. They're very tight. They're very comic bookish, but not in a way that it's annoying. They're very genre specific, and they don't make any fucking money, which stinks. Because he does Escape from New York.
But they live on forever.
They do, which is great. But I'm sure that's not helping him out. You know what I mean? Because I remember.
That guy's got money. Don't worry about him.
They were interviewing him, and he was talking about Big Trouble in Little China, how he enjoyed the movie, and he was like,
"Oh shit, the cops!"
And then it's alright. It was the Puerto Rican Day parade here. So then they were interviewing him about it, and he was just kind of, can we just move on? And I'm like, I felt so bad because these movies just don't make any money. But John Carpenter film, let's get into it. So, movie starts out how? Excellent. Helicopter chasing down this.
I'm sorry, I'm chewing food.
The helicopter is chasing down this. Actually, starts out with a UFO crashing into the Earth, which I guess is Antarctica. And then we see a helicopter chasing this. Was it a husky? Right?
It was a big German Shepherd.
Oh, it was a German
I think. I mean, I'm bad with the
It might be really horrible with dogs. But it was chasing this dog, and it's these Norwegian guys. And one guy is trying to throw a grenade at the
They just really don't like
They're really
dogs.
horrible shots. And they're trying to shoot the dog and then trying to throw the grenade at the dog, but it slips out of his hand and it falls near to the helicopter and
they're
kills.
chasing in a helicopter. You'd think they'd win.
Yeah, you see, like, Sarah Palin's able to do it, but not them. So
Right.
Helicopter and pilot explode. The other guy actually tries to run. What he does, he actually accidentally shoots one of the researchers at the facility in his leg. This ends up getting the wiles of everybody up there, and they kill him. And they're trying to figure out what the fuck happened. And they put the dog inside of the pen, and what we're seeing is Kurt Russell is this guy named R.G. McCready.
And it's like instantly so creepy because the dog is like so weirdly.
The dog is a really good actor.
Going into the pen.
The dog is a really good actor in this movie. Like,
yeah, and it's like licking his face, and instantly it's like, oh shit, you know.
So the dog actually, you see the dog go into this room with somebody in there, and we already know something weird's going on, and. But it's funny because John Carpenter actually had somebody stand in that wasn't an actor in the movie to his shadow, just so it kept it really what's the word? Trying to keep it so you don't know who it is. I forgot the fucking word.
I forget. I don't know what you're referencing right now.
There's a part when the dog is walking down the hallway, and then it walks into a room, and you see the shadow of one of the guys in the facility, and you don't see who it is. That way, we keep it anonymous to who the dog infects with his super thing powers. And the whole rest of the film are these 7 or 8 guys that are on this scientific research lab in Antarctica.
There are no women, right?
Right.
Yeah.
But I think that idea comes from the whole ship mentality, where it's bad luck to have a woman on a ship. With pirates and all that bullshit. I think they were just using an excuse to have a hot dog party. And Kurt Russell's R.G. McCready is a pretty much laid back dude on the scene.
At first.
Right? Yeah. Then
He becomes not laid back soon into it.
Their characters like Dr. Blair, who's played by Wilford Brimley. There's the chef named Knowles, played by T.K. Carter. People have seen him a lot.
Is that the roller skater?
Yeah, right. There's
Right.
Palmer. There's Childs, who's played by Keith David, who's fucking awesome in everything. There's Dr. Copper, the guy who gets his hands eaten off when he
Right.
tries to resuscitate the one
And
guy.
then that Windows guy, I like him. He's
Yeah,
got
that
cool
guy's
hair.
pretty neat. And Windows is the guy with the little fro.
Yeah, I think he's the guy with the glasses and the fro. Right?
Okay, so there's a good mix of characters in the film, but they're not annoying. None of them are.
Right.
And
Yeah, I don't dislike anybody.
you don't really dislike anybody. You may think, once people become suspicious, then you're like, a little. So I don't like this guy. I like this guy over this guy. But what are parts of the film that work for you?
It's just so slow moving and like, it's just such like a tension filled sort of thing. Like it really like makes you feel like makes you paranoid actually.
And it's
like,
not
moment.
It's not slow to the point where it's boring. It's
No,
actually
not
just
at all. It's perfect.
it's actually so tension filled, and the reactions between all the characters are fairly believable. That they all kind of seem to have this kind of cabin fever, which they kind of blame on the other crew because they decide to go to the Norwegian camp where the dog came from, just to see what the fuck was going on.
They find all kinds of fun things there.
They find a whole bunch of things. They find a guy who slit his throat and his wrist and frozen the blood and stuff like that. I gotta wonder how quick did that guy freeze? Because it kind of seemed like the blood was trickling out for a while, right? I don't know.
Well, they're in fucking like the Antarctic or something, so it's gonna be cold.
They find an axe lodged in a wall. They find this one creature who's burnt beyond recognition. It
still retains its sexy looks, though.
Oh yeah, I get into that.
So, are you eating too? We're both eating.
Yeah, because we're scumbags. That's how much we care about this movie.
This is the eating deconstruction.
What did you think? Was there anything in this film that didn't work for you?
No, it's perfect. It really is.
That's why it's hard, and it was good that we did with the because we'll bitch about the prequel, the price.
This movie to me. When we get into the prequel, why I don't like it as much, I'll talk about the benefits of this movie versus that movie more. But as a whole, this movie perfect.
What did you think of Kurt Russell's portrayal as Arjun? It's hard, right? What the fuck are we gonna say?
Great.
Everything is good.
Awesome.
What can you really say about this
He's
film? The whole film is dealing with this tension and who's who, and it does it really well of like which characters.
Like the game of Clue mixed with the pod people or something.
Right, body snatchers and stuff like that, and it's really a film about being that one man out while there's like 7 other guys that could be this creature.
Yeah, and
it ends up being
only you know that you're human.
Like when Max shoots that guy who's actually human, you're like, oh fuck, that's where it came to. You know what I mean?
And the thing is, even they don't know that they're human because even when they get tested, they look relieved. Oh, thank God, I'm not alien.
I think the alien knows that they're alien. I think they're just scared at anything. It's almost like the pregnancy test. You know what I mean? When like the guy like on fucking Maury Povich, like he's afraid. You know what I mean? They just don't know what the outcome is, or a lie detector test. So I think that's just how it goes, because anything can make you look like really shitty. It's just how, if you have even one thing against you and 9 other guys are pissed at you, that's all they need.
Yeah, it's like a mob waiting to happen.
Right, it's like a mob justice. and the fact that every character is, able to become this creature, and more than likely they are, it really raises up the stakes. So I mean, what the fuck can we say about this fucking movie?
There's really nothing to say.
There's people waiting to.
How do we say our best scenes that we love?
Favorite scenes? I love the scene where the dog's face splits in half and all the other dogs are going nuts.
Oh yeah.
I love. That's how you just came in your pants.
I feel like I almost did.
Yeah. Everything with the creature is fucking awesome in this film. It was made by Rob Bottin. He did most of the effects. He was 22 years old when he was the head of the effects here, and Stan Winston had a little help doing it actually, but then he was like, I don't want my name on it, because he was like, I want Rob Bottin to take most of the credit for this, because this is his first real huge gig. And I love everything with the creature, the thing creature is very I mean, you don't see creatures like this in film, really. You'll see it in like Japanese kind of games like Silent Hill or some shit like that. Like really,
They never pull it off well, like they did in this.
And
I love the I mean, it's a classic cliche almost to say this, but the pin test, is so like, oh my god, it's just awesome. It's perfect.
They try to redo it in that shitty movie, The Faculty. And,
well, they do it in South Park. It's pretty funny.
Well, that's, South Park, at least you can see they do it with a wink, but The Faculty try to do the whole thing with body snatchers.
I really don't like The Faculty.
I mean, it was really hyped for me, and then when I saw it, I was like, ugh, that wasn't that good. You just
watch it as exactly what it is, just like a silly story.
Yeah, of course it did.
Taking over high school. It's fun.
I don't know. I just have no forgiveness for that movie. And what other the monsters when they were trying to resuscitate that one guy and his chest opens up to a giant mouth? Oh
god, yeah, that's amazing.
It was very levels of hell kind of stuff that you see. Who's the guy? The guy.
I just love the scene. I guess it's one of my favorite scenes where the guy runs out and they're chasing him. And then his hands are like all like mutated, and he just looks up at them, and it's like this fucking crazy like howl whisper thing. It's so cool.
I love that part when they're all tied up in the chair doing the blood test, and that one guy is found out to be it, and he starts shaking in his chair.
You just see and then he's biting him, and the other guy's upside down.
You just see the fear in all the other guys' faces. Like, let's get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? While that one guy's shaking, and he's just doing, and then he just pauses, and you know something really bad is gonna happen, and his face just starts falling apart. And then it was Windows that is eaten by him, or is it the other guy?
Maybe the guy with the glasses.
And it's just like batshit insane because then the guy it's like one guy's like the other he's lifting him up, and he's upside down and he's eating him and he's absorbing him and it's fucking
It's like going
nuts.
so fast and like
it really is like a scene where people would go batshit insane when they'd see that if they see that in real life. You know what I mean?
I could just watch all of these special effects forever. They're so good.
They're like the pinnacle of when you're thinking about practical effects.
This is the movie
I think
try to go towards.
I think this and Little Shop of Horrors are probably the two films that have possibly the best practical effects.
And Demon Knight.
Right, too. There's a lot of films, but those two for me are like I couldn't believe how good they are.
Yeah.
So with that, it's obviously a fucking a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
For me. 10 out of 10 roller skating and then finding somebody's shitty underwear in the kitchen.
Alright, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 head turning into a spider and then growing eyes and walking around.
You gotta be fucking kidding.
Great.
So, I mean, we're sorry for the people that actually want to hear what we think about the movie, but we try to do it with Halloween. It's impossible.
I think it's like obvious. Anybody that watches this movie, if somebody actually told me that they love horror and they don't like this movie, I would be like confused.
Yeah, I mean, we try to do it with the Halloween, but we can't really do anything because John Carpenter knows what he's doing. He's just a very. I mean, besides,
slapstick that doesn't like Leslie Nielsen or something.
We can get into Ghost of Mars, but those would just be us depressed. I think like those kind of later Carpenter films where he's just like he doesn't know what he's doing. Like I would just be depressed, being like, I'll just be like, hey, let's talk about The Thing instead. You know what I mean?
He'd be like, God, I can't live it down.
So now we can get into the real bitch fest, which is the prequel to The Thing, the sort of reimagining sequel prequel film, which I think was the only way they can honestly do with The Thing.
It was a prequel, but there were so many similarities that it's almost a remake.
Yeah, it's The Thing 2011, directed by Matthijs van Heiningen Jr. Oh boy, written by
Eric Kaiserer.
Yeah, you get the easy one. Based on the short story by John W. Campbell Jr.
Which I think was the original one was based on that too, maybe? Or the original one was based on the original movie?
No, the original story.
There was one in like the 1950s.
Right,
too.
that was based off the short story written by John W. Campbell. And it's funny, the Carpenter film was more closer to the story than the actual 50s version.
Okay.
All right, so with this one, it stars Mary Elizabeth Winstead, Joel Edgerton, Ulrich Thompson. I gotta say, everybody's a fairly really good actor in this film. I think they did well in the acting.
Nobody has the eyebrows of that one dude, the captain and the other. thing. He has like white eyebrows.
The
They're,
only
like, so
the only
distinct.
thing that was kind of taking me out of the film, the only actor that takes me out of the film, and I feel bad because it's not his fault. It's the her friend, is it Sam?
The one with the earring, right?
Who? Oh no,
The one that has the earring and then he doesn't have it anymore.
no. Her buddy Eric Christian Olsen. He was in Not Another Teen Movie. He was like the bad guy, but the funny bad guy. So whenever I see a movie, that movie was fucking funny for what it was. It was like one of the last good spoof films on high school movies.
Yeah.
He was
That's the one where she's painting all crazy and then you see a smiley face.
Stick figure.
Awesome.
Yeah, he plays Adam, and he's the one that lets her know about this job that's in Antarctica for her, because she's I didn't know what the fuck creature she was looking at. I think it was like a mountain lion or something like that. I thought it was an alien when she was looking at. But Mary Elizabeth Winstead plays Kate, and I like that the film. I gotta be from the upfront. I liked her character. I actually liked all the characters in the film.
I could look at her forever. She's way more pleasant to look at than Kurt Russell.
She's incredibly beautiful.
Although Kurt Russell's a pretty good looking guy, but
yes, he is. He's charming too. Else. But she's incredibly beautiful. She has these really like eyes that draw you in.
She's like perfect.
If you watch her, she was in I feel bad for her career because she's in a lot of shitty movies. She was with Die Hard 26. She was in.
She probably liked.
She was in Final Destination 3, which was not that good, but she was cute in it. She was in. But I thought of Final Destination.
She was in the Black Christmas movie.
Don't be racist. She was. Final Destination 3 was better than 2. That's all I say. She was in Black Christmas. I think it was a Tyler Perry movie. Oh boy, am I in trouble? And she was also in one of my favorite films of all time, which is Scott Pilgrim versus the World. She was really awesome in that movie. And anyway, but she's also Death Proof. She was a cheerleader, and I think they tried to say that she got raped in that film. So
no, she wasn't. Was she?
Yeah, the whole idea.
It's been quite a while since I've seen.
The whole idea in that movie is that she gets left with this hillbilly redneck.
Yeah, she's the one that's sitting there as he's just like drooling over her, and
all the other girls were like, they're almost insinuating, she'll have fun with you while we're gone, kind of thing.
I don't think so.
Here's the thing, also,
it was more just like.
But then the actress, oh god, what's her name, Rosario Dawson, actually got into an argument with Quentin Tarantino about it because she was like, "You're letting her character be raped," and he was like, well, "Just shut up, let me see your feet," whatever. So I also like that the film didn't have any sexual tension in it. Because they obviously, when I was reading the trivia for this film, there's
no room for sexual tension.
Right. I mean, it gets real quick, but you'd figure the only idea that I almost had was her and the helicopter, the chopper pilot, Sam. Like they were gonna go somewhere, but I thought she was gonna go out with Adam. Who knows? But that was me injecting my own thoughts in the film.
You got Mr. Echo in here.
Yeah, he's awesome, and but she. There's no sexual tension, which I like about the film. It was just about a horror film. It wasn't the shit that they would do nowadays in the fucking horror movie where they would have this romance subplot for girls because they think girls can't sit through a horror film without wanting, some...
And we know for a fact that that's not true.
Right. Thea. Yes, Thea. Way to shoehorn her in. Anyway, so this...
See? We gotta get her a little interview that we asked her. We asked her a quick little sound, but
she said it kind of sucked. And she had a British
accent.
We
were like, "What do you think?" She's like,
But set it up how it goes after she goes to Antarctica. Like a really quick up.
They bring her there because they found a spaceship, and that's like the first thing I guess you see is they fall down a hole and whatever. So they bring her there because they found an alien in a block of ice in a spaceship, which you see clips of in the original movie.
Yeah.
You see them finding that in video and stuff.
But this is where they fucked up because I was reading all this shit on the site of IMDb where the people actually love the thing. Obviously, enough more than I did to realize some of the fucking weird errors. Is that how they got to the ship? The ship was underground, right? And I think they blew it up with thermite in the original version. And in this one,
I think they did blow it up with.
They didn't use thermite in this one though. They used like something else, and the ship was still on the ground while it was visible in the other version, in the original version. So it's very strange shit going on here. There's some real lapses of. The director went down to the whole, the look of the original cabin. I mean the original station where they actually had photos up of what's where and how to restage this kind of props.
Right.
And meanwhile, he'll just leave shit that completely out of what was originally in the film.
Was the axe in the wall and stuff like
that? Yeah,
that?
the axe was... They made a big thing about that where the guy tries to chop a thing and it splits in half, and then the axe sticks to the wall and it's covered in blood. And Kate says, "No, don't touch it." So he leaves the axe there, which is a neat nod to the original where they find an axe in the wall. There's a lot of characters in this film. There's about like 11 guys.
This movie has it hard from the beginning because you can't. It's very hard to be better than the first one,
right.
Especially if you're copying it. You know.
There's
yeah.
This came out about the time when they came out with this thing called the Thing video game.
Okay.
And that was the actual canon. Like, it was actually part of the storyline that John Carpenter said. And in that one, MacReady got saved, and Childs was the Thing.
So,
and Childs froze to death in that version.
How did he get saved?
I guess a helicopter must have gotten some sort of beacon.
So we now know that he got saved officially? That's like official?
According to the video game, and John Carpenter calls... So this is what the trivia on IMDb says, that John Carpenter calls that version canon. So it's like actual...
Well, if he says that, then that's nice.
But that's from IMDb, so who knows if they were bullshitting or not. But also, another weird thing that happens in this film which contradicts that. When a person is taken over by the Thing, they can't host foreign objects in their body. It's almost like the Thing mutates you into become a completely healthy version of yourself, but it's obviously controlled by another mutant.
Pacemakers, fillings.
Right, so fillings come, which I thought was a pretty interesting thing. Like, this guy's earring disappears, you can see fillings in the bathroom, and that was
like actually in Langoliers they do that. Yeah.
But if that contradicts what happens to Childs in the first film, because he has his earrings on at the ending, and if he's the Thing, then he would, according to this one. But so then we're not going to take this as canon. It's very strange because he obviously has earrings on.
Maybe the Thing learned, because you have to remember that came after this. So maybe the actual alien entity. No, I'm being serious.
He gave
maybe
himself
actually
he put his earrings
and said,
back
okay,
in.
So they figured out last time because I didn't have earrings in, so let me put the earring back in the body now.
Well, there you go. He re-pierced
himself. It's not that
himself.
hard to pierce an ear.
He had a piercing gun with him. That's what he did. The Thing.
You could have just opened up a little hole in his ear using his mind.
And also, I like that aspect with the stuff falling out of the body and shit like that, and like the molars. I mean, not the molars, the fillings. Yeah. And I actually like that. I mean,
it's cool.
It couldn't. This movie isn't horrible. I mean, it's a nice nod to the original, but it's not.
You don't think of the original; it's a good movie.
Yeah, it's all right. I mean, it gets the action pretty much quickly going, and there's a woman that becomes a thing, and everything, like the designs of the monsters in this one. We're not talking about the CG yet, but the designs of the monsters are pretty neat. Like, they kind of look like Japanese cartoon. Like,
they're way too big for me.
Okay, why is that? Do you think that they're over?
They're trying to do bigger and better. Like, everything with Hollywood is like...
That's what bugged me with The Faculty, too, is that little girl who was the queen monster was 50 times her size when she could get turned into that human body. It didn't make any fucking sense.
But that is actually the only part of the movie that's like that, so it's like, to me, excusable. I don't know, but I don't mind big monsters. I don't... You see what it's like, and then all of a sudden now it's like 10 times bigger. It doesn't make sense. It's the same creature, you know?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest shit fit in this film is the CG, the use of CG in the graphics.
I can't stand it.
So yeah, Dan, you can talk about that a little bit. What's going on?
The first movie has the best special effects ever. Like, why mess with it? If they could do it in 1982, certainly they have the technology to do it now. Like,
I think it's to save money.
Yeah, but then I don't know. Like, that's so stupid to me. Then find lesser known actors and use the money that you're saving on their ridiculous.
And these are all lesser known actors, basically.
Then they have no excuse.
And they have.
I don't see how it could cost less money if they're paying like 50 people in a lab to do this,
and it's
like
so
soullessly on computers. It's so gross to me.
It's so strange because they had characters that. I mean, they had the actors actually with. Actual creatures there, like with not actual creatures, but you know what I mean, with actual physical molds and effects interacting. Then they pumped it up with CG, and it's just really bad looking CG. Well, not bad, but really obvious.
It's over double the budget, although it is 20 years later, so money isn't as valuable. But I don't know.
It's really obvious how it looks. I mean, the CG is really obvious. Like the first guy that turns into a thing, I like that. I was a little surprised because it happens on a helicopter attack. With a guy, you think the one guy who's been acting strange is the Thing, and then it's the guy talking to him that actually splits into the Thing.
I like the way his head first comes open.
Yeah, but then once his face split in half, you're like, this is horrible looking.
Yeah, because it's like, they could do like 10 tentacle floppy things coming out the way they did in the original, and that's cool and creepy. But they're like, no, we have to do 500 of them, and they have to move super fast and have little tentacles on the end of the tentacles that open up into teeth.
Yeah, it was very modern day, sort of. Let's make this bigger, blastier.
It's not like
sounding.
Fucking La Blue Girl. I mean, just look good, you know.
But I think for the most part the film works. But if you're watching it divorced from the original, I mean, you just can't top the original version of the film. Yeah. And I don't know. I mean, there's stuff.
You want to see a beautiful girl with those cold red cheeks that you get in the cold? Oh,
she's so cute. Kate's character is so adorable, and you just want her to run forever.
I want to marry her. I don't even know anything about her. I would marry her.
So she actually survives at the end. So why do you? I mean, because the stuff that
happens.
Does
she though? We see her in the car.
True. But she's not there when they come and get her, right? When the
well,
team...
yeah, she's not ever mentioned again. Like, all we know of is the people in the helicopter chasing the dog in the 1982 version. So, you know, what happened to her? Maybe she froze to death. Maybe the thing got her after all.
Also, I forgot how Antarctica works. Is it the thing where 6 months it'll be sun, and then 6 months it'll be night, or is it?
I think the sun doesn't set until midnight.
Okay.
At some point of the year, and then there's another point where you only get like an hour of daylight a day or something. Because I know I'd kill myself.
With this film, it takes place like 3 days, I think, before the original thing. And I gotta wonder, what the fuck kind of alien flies a spaceship like that? Like, you see how the thing looks? Like, it's this kind of beast.
Right.
Why would it be flying a spaceship? Like, I don't understand the mechanics of that. I mean,
Well, what do you mean? It's from a different planet.
Right, but you see how it acts in this world?
It's very H.P. Lovecraft.
Yeah, but does that fucking whatever that thing is just sit down and then just start flying a plane? Do you know what I mean? Like,
how do you? Well, maybe it does it telepathically. I don't know.
It just seems
You're picturing what we think of as a plane. It could be totally different.
No, you actually see a UFO fall out of the sky. You know what I mean? It's a UFO.
I'm saying, like the internal mechanisms of how it flies it.
Like, yeah, but do you understand how it's acting?
Insert like its kabuka lock into it, and then like.
But I mean, you see how nuts and crazy and like a horse or like a crazy stampeding horse that acts like wouldn't it have some sort of semblance of a mind to fly a plane?
It obviously does have a mind, though, because it perfectly imitates people's
personalities. Well, that's true, but I guess it's
maybe it can only have a mind.
Maybe it's like it's like the Hulk or something, you know, like it acts one way and then when it freaks out, it can do that shit. That's pretty. That just kind of bugged me a little bit.
I mean, but, if you ever read The Mountains of Madness or whatever by H.P. Lovecraft, I think that's what it's called.
I actually did.
Yeah, there's like a whole. They find a whole mountain filled with like all these alien relics, and the alien itself is like killing them and shit. But then you see all its artwork and stuff, and it's like a whole culture.
Right. I actually do remember that stuff. It was actually in the Antarctics, right? Like that's where they found it.
I think it was. Yeah, it's basically. I think they based.
Yeah, I'm sure.
One on the other or something.
And well, I think it was good. I mean, it's an okay film. I like the interactions between the characters, and the bad guy is not really that much of a bad guy. Because I thought that
the bad guy,
the head researcher that put them all together, the Stern guy, you know, the guy who's really tough on them. Like I thought he was gonna try to make him like evil in a way. Like I thought they were gonna make him make the helicopter crash. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, okay.
I thought they would have been that way, but he wasn't. He was just an asshole.
Yeah, and there really wasn't many strong characters the way there was in the first one, except for I guess Kate.
Right.
And that's about it. But yeah, because in the first one you got like McCready and Childs or whatever. Like they're both like really strong characters, and then the Doctor is like crazy.
Yeah, I liked how I think McCready that said it, and he said, "Can you imagine going to another planet and eating a plant, and then that plant looking at us like we're?" Oh no, it was in the director's commentary that it was John Carpenter and Kurt Russell. It's pretty funny because Kurt Russell's laughing through the whole movie, and he's talking about how. Imagine if you go to another planet, how they would see us as these ugly, hideous creatures eating their life. You know what I mean? That kind of stuff. Like a plant looks at us. So I get it. But I think as for a prequel, I mean, ultimately it's okay for a thriller. And for a horror film to be taking place in the daytime, it's really hard to do.
They do the same mistakes that I feel a lot of movies make nowadays, which is that they don't focus at all on character developments. They over-focus on special effects by making all the CGI, which just ruins it. Yeah, well, they don't really care about story development too much.
While every character was really interesting in the first one, they're just kind of throwaway here, except for Kate. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
and the chopper
And I
pilot.
liked her assistant up until he got shot.
Yeah,
I mean, they even do the same fire not working thing.
Yeah.
Where it jams up in the fire gun.
Why do you think this movie fell at the box office? It didn't make its money back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you think it was because of the way they sold it, or I don't even remember really, honestly.
Because of what we're saying, maybe. I don't know.
Probably. All right, so with that,
it's not bad. I'm surprised it didn't make the money. Well, then again, it's a lot of money. It's $38 million, so it made $27 million. So that's pretty good if you think about it.
I would give this movie a 6 out of 10. Maybe 6.5 because of Mary Elizabeth Winstead's beautiful eyes and face and lips.
Yeah.
And just her whole, she's so cute. There's a video of her dressed in her cheerleader outfit. She's singing on set for Kill Bill. For Death Proof.
Death Proof.
So adorable. She has such a good voice too. She's so cute.
Alex is in love.
I want to give her some kisses. She's so cute. She dates hipsters though. Horrible. How dare she? Anyway, so with that, I'd give it a 7 out of 10. And what would 6.5 out of 10? What would you give it?
6.5 out of 10. What?
Oh right, 6.5 out of 10. Guy from what happens in this movie? This stuff happen?
There's plenty of stuff that happen. I don't know.
6.5 out of 10. Yelling "idiota" in Norwegian at a. Actually using footage from the 80s and interspersing into a movie from 2010.
Okay, I'm gonna give it oh, and I love the Pong simulation when Doctor in the 1982 one.
Yeah. Meanwhile, you notice how modern everybody looked compared to everybody in the 80s version? Their haircuts were all like clean cut. But go ahead. I'm
gonna give this I think it was 7.5 because I kind of like it. I would watch it again. I have watched it again. You know. Mm-hmm. So a 7.5, I can't quite say an 8 out of 10.
Yeah, see how you like it now.
I'm gonna think of something.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead is beautiful.
Oh, just looking at this wonderful, wonderful angel on this earth.
She's so cute. Oh,
yes.
Let's just talk about her.
Just looking at this wonderful angel.
I cannot argue with that. So with that, our next film
I can't even make a sexual remark.
No, she's too beautiful beyond that. So our next film is Dead Girl. So with that, Danny, what's the final word?
Yeah. Don't you tell me.
The horror deconstruction.